probably executed this composition that well. It was really their game to win, and they did so flawlessly. Now, ladies and gentlemen, next Battleground is going to be unveiled very soon. What are your guesses?
Baited me there. I thought you were just going straight into it.
Nope.
Germany continue to surprise me with the with mostly standard maps. Was Towers banned as the first one, or
No.
first ban?
Black
It's available.
Shrines.
Black Hearts and Shrines.
I think Tomb.
Tomb, yes, Black Hearts and
yes.
Tomb. So, so Infernal Shrines. I'm gonna say Warhead.
I'm gonna stick with it. Haunted Mines. They're gonna pick it.
100 points to Bakery.
Yeah,
We're going
fair
to.
enough. It's time.
It is finally time for the German team to take us on a ride to the Haunted Mines and maybe surprise us with something that the Polish team isn't prepared for. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Out of all the games in the Nexus games that we've seen on Haunted Mines, most of them were very entertaining and more strategic than I had originally anticipated.
I would agree. We've seen some very interesting starts, especially from Team Germany. They are very willing to use the mines to their advantage. A lot of the games we have seen have neglected the mines, to say the least, whereas Germany, a couple skulls here and there. Just here, there, until they hit the 60 point, and then the other team, by that point, it's like, oh, we're too late.
I don't know if Haunted Mines is very fun for these players to play, but for us to watch and to analyze, it's always been a fantastic show.
Definitely true. And now that we're actually being sent down into the Haunted Mines, I remember that Jaina was picked here. Alongside the Arthurs, and I think they had a lot of AoE wave clear, as you said, Tetra, to constantly grind those school camps.
In one case, literally sending Jaina as the solo camp clear because she does so much burst damage so quickly.
Very true. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're in for one hell of a night here already. The previous series, Sweden against France, what a performance by both teams. Up to this point, 2-1, the games couldn't be any more fun. If you want to become part of it, hashtag DEWin. If you want to vote for your favorite German boys, or hashtag PLWin if you think Poland is actually going to carry the wave of momentum even more. Get involved, join the goodness.
As we see Tassadar, consistent first ban for Team Poland so far.
Yeah, can't really blame a Tassadar ban at any given point.
Yeah,
Tassadar ban's pretty standard, to be honest. Like, he enables so many things, and he is so strong with that wave clear, and he is so strong in the early game, and he is so strong in the late game. I cannot blame any team for banning him out.
Completely agreed. And also, we do have the extra defensive potential he can offer, shielding forts, removing value from those grave golems sometimes.
All right, we see a ban on the Stukov. I mean, we mentioned that multiple times now, but he's just a lane-dominating hero, especially on two-lane maps where there's only so many things you can do in the early game. Pretty good ban.
Yeah, would agree. Now then, first pick for Poland. Now, our usual first picks are available. We have ETC, which was very effective for Poland the last time they picked it. We have Rhaegar, and we still have Greymane.
All right, and the community out there now they seem to have found their ways back into cheering for the Polish team, and we can't really blame them. If you make a composition work that was basically put against all odds, you make it look so good, I think they deserve the votes.
I would say so as well. They're looking very solid here, and they're starting off with a lead into a pick a lane. They're going to dominate it build with that Lieutenant Morales.
Yeah, very similar to the start that Team Germany had, of course, on Praxis. Hold down two similar maps as well. So quite an interesting start. I do think that the Lieutenant Morales is still quite vulnerable, so Germany have a lot of options they can do here.
What would you like to see to pressure Morales ideally?
Well, we've seen Germany run the Stitches, and Stitches, if he gets the Morales, can be good. ETC is also good for going in onto Morales, so that's also quite effective, as we saw in a vice versa scenario with Poland pressuring Germany's Morales on Praxis.
Stage dive.
Yep.
Exactly.
Hey,
Stage dive is what you need to do to get onto Morales. One of the only tanks that actually can is ETC with stage dive.
Definitely true, and ETC has been looking so good, respectively, in game number 1. Zadoon did have a good run for the most part, but in the end, the mosh pits could never work out. But as Bakery said, the moment stage dive was locked in, that looked like a whole different game.
So, Poland, what do they want with this Morales? Who is going to be the potentially in for sustain hero? Could it be back onto that Gul'dan? Or maybe we're leaning into something a bit more ranged in terms of auto-attacking style, in the form of maybe Valor or that Zul'jin?
You bring up Vala, and I do want to ask you guys, what happened to Vala for the majority of this tournament? She gets in here, but in the previous series, we haven't seen her at all.
So Vala was actually nerfed not too long ago, and while it wasn't severely impactful, it was definitely the change that put her below heroes like Genji or Greymane, and at the same time, the double support comp that focused on ranged heroes moved towards a double support comp that focused on diving heroes. So all of those meta shifts together made it so that Vala was no longer a high priority pick, and put her, I would say, in a very similar situation to Zul'jin, except everyone is comfortable on Vala.
Yeah, and also Vala a little bit more mobile than Zul'jin, who might have a bit more damage output potentially, but Vala is a safer pick, and with Morales especially, a stim drone Vala is very scary. Not with auto attack build though. Regular builds, please.
I mean, auto attack build is a legend. It's a myth basically.
It doesn't exist. You look on Vala, you'll not see auto attack talents except for Manticore and stuff like that.
Sonya being denied here, and makes a lot of sense in my opinion, because Sonya, if you ban her out, you have a much quieter game, if you will. You don't have to worry about the solo laning all the time. You don't have to worry about picking additional interrupt to really keep her in check.
And this also means that Arthas can be flexed to either that main tank role or the offlane role, depending on the solo lane from Team Germany. So, again, a fine ban from Germany, but one that actually might come back to shoot them in the foot.
Well, if they want their solo laner, they may have to pick it now. Who would be an effective solo laner against Arthas, for example? Leoric could fit in again. We've seen Germany very fond of the hero in this particular series.
Yeah, Leoric definitely does work. I do think Malthael is a hero we haven't seen today or yesterday, I believe, but still very strong.
There's the Leo, though, once again coming in, and the Greymane. They've got the triple threat. They've got the normal triple threat we see of Rhaegar, ETC, and Greymane.
And it is so cool to compare semifinals in this day alone. I mean, in the previous series between Sweden and France, party heroes were Gul'dan, maybe the Greymane, maybe the Genji, but here it is heroes like Leoric, Morales that really pop up frequently, and it's so cool to see the shift of in-game tournament meta in Heroes of the Storm here.
Will we see Probius?
Ooh,
I could see
he's
it.
Very good on this map. He can get a lot of lane control and is great for the mercenaries.
The last time we did see Probius, it was on this map, and it was in the hands of Mana.
I mean, there's so many twists to the Probius as well, not just in terms of dominating a lane, but also if you consider all those 4 mine exits where you can put down your blast and have a nice surprise.
Yep, setting up the cannons as well.
Yeah.
Clearing and defense. Probius is a setup mage, and when you have a PvE target, it can work out well.
And we see the Probius. I like it. I like it a lot. We saw how effective it was even against a heavy dive comp when Poland played against Spain all the way back in the group stage. And it's looking like a similar composition. It's Greymane, it's ETC, it's Leoric.
Yep.
That's stuff that wants to go in on Probius. And I believe that Mana has the tools and has the skills to survive that.
Yeah, we have double support Vala, Arthas as the solo tank, and Probius would be with the group, not in the solo lane, right? Arthas will take solo lane here. Probius can solo lane.
No, I think I'm expecting Probius to solo lane because
Arthas
it is
the only
a
warrior.
Leoric counter. That's what I was saying about the Sonya ban, is it does allow Arthas to flex into either position.
And it also takes away a hero that could probably pose a serious threat for the Probius. So, as you said, the ban could actually cause Germany to shot itself in their own foot. But now we have a stacking mage. It is the Kel'Thuzad.
Kel'Thuzad coming in. The double Lich team coming in for Team Germany here.
Wait, who's the other one?
Leoric's close enough to a Lich.
Okay, I'll give
If
you
you don't
that.
like traditional styles of Lich here.
Okay,
skeleton
sure, I believe you. Anyway, looking at the Kel'Thuzad, the last time we saw a Kel'Thuzad, it was in the hands
Finland.
of Pix from Team Finland,
Yeah.
and it did not perform at all well.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's going to be interesting to see it come in from Team Germany here. Their mobility can be questionable. Heroes like Arthas and the Morales, so the potential for that blow-up style, especially if set up by someone like ETC, could be huge.
Now, Kel'Thuzad normally needs somebody to follow up on. So he needs slows, he needs roots, stuns, so it makes it easier for his combos to land, right? Do you think there's enough synergy built into that German draft?
They have, in terms of slows and stuns, they have Rhaegar Totem, ETC everything, and Leoric. They have setups. There's a chance they could do it, and the protection, there's lots of armor and a shield. I'm interested.
I think Germany have the tools to make the Kel'Thuzad work, and they have a very strong standard comp, but my vote's on Poland.
Tetcher.
I'm going to believe in the Lich Lord of the Plague Lands. I'm going for Germany.
And my German banner is a little bit shattered, a little bit torn, but it's still going strong. I think they can do it, Tetra. Introduce Team Poland to us. Potentially the last time. It is the match point after all.
Team Poland on the left is going to be captained by the team of Gugus, playing the Valor, Zadoon on the Arthas, Wolves on the Brightwing, Juf is on the Morales, and guess who? It's Bada playing that Probius.
Representing Team Liquid there, I'm loving it. Now, Germany, though, down 1-2. Can they come back here? Memecraft on that Kel'Thuzad. Minx plays the Grey Main. Born is on ETC. Nunez rocking that Rhaegar. And last but not least, we have Brain in the solo lane. And we mentioned this. Leoric is pretty good if he were to face heroes like Arthas or other melees where you can basically use his Brain Hope very efficiently. Against a feisty little probe, though, I can see him struggle a little bit, Tetcher.
Small hitbox, very low health, and
low
good
range,
health
long
gen,
range.
so quite annoying, long range, like you said. And if he Wraith Walks, then Probius just stacks up and blows him up.
Basically, the Polish team is having none of those early push parties. They spot the Germans immediately with a grenade by Morales. Well done.
Gets their stacks. Yeah, which is always nice. So a very solid start here for Juf.
Yeah, hits another one actually, and Born took some serious harass there by those grenades. Now, as you can see, the Zappers are spawning extremely early here in Haunted Mines. 50 seconds into the game, you will see that camp. 45, actually, my mistake. And already, both teams are just shuffling around to always have a vision on their opponents to really see, hey, are they starting a Merc camp, or is it safe for us to do so?
The armor dropped onto the Dune, keeping him alive. Now, Memecraft, by the way, just quickly went for Blighted Frost. The extra damage to the heroes in the center of his route, which the combo could help him land. Not going for the armor reduction potential of Barbed Chains here, which could, in theory, be counteracted by Brightwing, but Brightwing also just counteracts everything that Kel'Thuzad does.
And we see the respect coming in from Team Germany for that Arthas. If you fight an Arthas on a mercenary platform, you risk that your entire team may actually get afflicted by the Frozen Tempest, crippling your combat performance really hard.
As we see the Death and Decay dropping a little bit of damage, but the Sappers were able to move through it. Two of them make it in. One of them did die in the interim as the chain misses.
Yeah, cute little move here by Arjuv on that Morales, by the way. She was healing one of the Zappers constantly. You can do that with your healing beam. And if there's nothing else to heal, why not heal a minion? It's not going to cost you that much energy.
Right now, an intense duel in the bot lane. The Brood does not land, and we see that the power side forced out of Born here as the mines are entered very quickly by Team Poland.
Yeah, we see a very interesting talent choice here for Kel'Thuzad as well, going for the level 1 Nova talent, basically empowering it and increasing the time rooted.
Yeah, he's going to be giving a little bit more damage. Once again, as we said at the start of the game, Brightwing can counteract this, or even at the Barb Chain, so he had to go. He made his choice there. As we hit level 4 coming in, it's going to be the armor of the Arc Lich. And, well, Probius gets wrecked.
I think there's no other way to say it. There's no other way to say it. In the meantime, though, the little probe bought a little bit of time for his or her teammates. Arthas is in trouble, though. In those narrow choke points, it's really hard to get past the body blocks of two warriors at the same time.
He's trying. Wolves comes in with the TP, gives him a little bit of extra healing and, well, vision, which is not helpful here, as Braid is focused down. Hungering Arrow and the grenade, he is taken out.
All right, so 1-for-1 trade after all. The little probe was avenged.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about this Armor of the Arc Lich talent again. It's by far the least popular one that we're not used to seeing here. Normally, we always see the Phylactery for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Strong combat mechanics and strong life leech.
We have seen strip shields, especially against a hero like a Brightwing, but no, Armor of the Arc Lich, physical armor for 4 seconds and slowing everyone around him. This could be a potential counter-engage tool.
I guess it could be good against the Vala. I mean, regardless of her going for the auto attack build or not, her attacks start hitting really hard in late game. And let's see how much value that can get. It's also
actually safety first.
Exactly.
We do see them setting up. right now, the Skulls are barely in favor of Team Germany, with only that central boss left, as we see Mana being forced back. Aggressive move by Nunia. Nicely done.
Yeah, actually a very important and nice mercenary camp steal here by Nunia, showing great map awareness. And as good as Probius is, there is no way he can deal with both Rhaegar and Leoric at the same time.
Exactly, as Rhaegar moves in, and we do see the double dog camp clear. Poland, on the other hand, they know Mercs are being taken, they know they're having problems with this, so they choose to try and gain an advantage elsewhere and begin working on that boss, the Grave Golem down below. They have evened up with Germany. Now, can Germany gain an advantage elsewhere?
Yeah, very important to highlight here. Germany is willingly abandoning this boss in the mines here because they realize, hey, we can get more value even without it. Look at those mercenaries helping us out. Strong 4-man push coming in as well. Yeah. But they're definitely playing this very carefully, and rightfully so, because if they were... Oh, look at actually what Poland did in the mines. They left one skull open to delay that golem even further and forcing one of the German players to pick them up.
And they do. They send Nunia straight down. He picks it up. Mana looks like he was also intending to, but we do see Rhaegar making it down there first.
Okay, so the fact that Probius went downstairs as well
makes it seem like it was possibly a mistake.
Maybe it was a mistake,
that was their timing there. There are no more Mercs left for them to make.
Uh-oh, Mana is in trouble right now. Look at this.
I like it. As they move in, Mana is getting drained.
No way, no way.
And goes down. Feral lunge.
Once again, I think they could have actually waited until Brightwing was landing the teleport, so they could have had another kill.
Yeah, there's no heroics. Yeah, like Brightwing could have been a potential second kill for them, but better to get the kill you know you can get than to risk losing both of them in this particular case, especially with Brightwing. Polymorph could have gone on to Rhaegar and prevented it. So I still do like the move. We also, by the way, now see Glacial Spike coming in as Kel'Thuzad moves forward with the rest of his team. Juve in Polymorph. Oh no, speaking of wolves, joining up with someone in a rough position. Yeah, that cleanse was going to help us down. So is Brightwing and the Morales.
What are you going to do when the mean boys come for you in those narrow choke points here? I think that's actually the second time we see the location being that narrow choke point on the sides. The UK game against Italy, we had a similar scenario, didn't we?
That cleanse was adorable. Completely body blocked. Get rooted and fight wings. I'm helping cleanse. Right at the end.
And unfortunately, Cleanse doesn't help you against collision and body blocks. Otherwise, that would have been a formidable play. But as it is, we're having a short break here. No problem. We can definitely talk about some of the early aggression coming in from Team Germany.
Yeah, like you said, the only way to cleanse a body block is to kill the target who is body blocking you. But like you said, the early aggression from Team Germany working out quite well. They've been dominant over these mercenary camps. Probius still needing a couple more levels before he really comes to bear.
Yeah, and we see a lot of pressure actually being applied onto Mana, who normally plays almost flawless Probius games. He's always there when it comes to retreating. He's always there when it comes to pushing. But the German team really seems to have found a good solution to keep him in check.
And I'm really, so far, we've only seen it once, I'm not completely convinced that the Armor of the Arc glitch is not terrible so far. It's so far netted them 1 kill. So I will continue to keep an eye on it, and I shall withhold my contempt.
I mean, it's definitely not the intended way of using it. Like, normally you want to use it defensively to slow down engaging heroes. But hey, if the opportunity presents itself,
the way they use it is the way they want to use it. And in this case, it's working.
And speaking of Kel'Thuzad talents, he also activated the Glacial Spike. So that is a very good thing to have for sure. Another break. I mean, we're doing a little bit of morning, afternoon workout here. I like it.
Exactly. We're doing the caster desk shuffle, getting ready in between games. We saw 1 heroic picked up before that pause came in, and it was the standard Shadow Fissure. So that blow up potential, even though the chants aren't identical, they're still pretty accurate. And we can still see that blow-up come in from Kel'Thuzad. Yeah,
Shadow Fissure is just too good of an ability to be passed on, especially if you take a look at the draft here at the bottom corner of your screen. We have so much AoE wombo shmombo potential with the ETC going for the Mosh Pit.
Yeah.
More AoE damage coming in from the Leoric and the March of the Black King.
Yeah, March of the Black King is the likely heroic we will be seeing here. Although, I'm looking at this and there's very little in Tomb escape potential.
I was going to say, like, if you entomb somebody, then it's much easier to land a good Shadow Fissure.
It is. I have unconvinced myself. I am no longer sure which heroic Leoric will pick. It's more likely to be March of the Black King. It's the more standard, it's sustain, it's damage. It just works in terms of abilities for Leoric.
Yeah, definitely true. And while we're waiting for the players to get back online, maybe you guys can really let us know what you think, by the way. Let us know, tweet at us, at Tetcher, at Kendrick Swish, or at Bakery. And, you know, it's always nice to hear from you guys as well, what you have to say about the tournament. In general, how you're liking the teams, how you're liking the casting, the players. There's just so many cool things coming.
Exactly. We've been having a marvelous time. We would love to hear if you have been too, with anything you want to say to us. And if you do think that if you are also just surprised at how well Germany are doing in this tournament, because right now, they're looking good in this. We could be heading to a game number 5 after this, Kendrick.
Yeah, maybe we're going to have another 5-game semifinals. If you watched previously France against Sweden, that was already one hell of a show. And we're finding out which team is actually going to face Sweden in the upcoming grand final. And if you saw the previous series, you're like, actually, Sweden's not that easy of an enemy to face anymore because they seem to have gained a lot of momentum.
And Poland are not looking invincible anymore. We were looking at them and be like, can anyone really beat them? Germany have already taken 1 game. They're looking decent to take a second.
Yeah, they actually started bleeding yesterday against Team Russia already.
Exactly.
Only winning in a 3-1, which is still very good because Russia's one hell of a team, right?
Or only beating Russia with a 3-1. How amateur hour are we talking here?
Exactly.
Russia are a really good team. Poland being able to get that score alone is impressive.
But Germany showed us that gods can bleed after all, and the Polish team is not one without weaknesses. And truth be told, I think they're playing much better than many people had anticipated before going into that series.
Completely agreed. Germany, I can't deny it that they continue to impress me. Every time I set my expectations higher for them of, you know what, yeah, they are that good, they step it up again, and I'm impressed.
Yeah, definitely true. The question is, can they maintain that shape and form against Poland, or is it going to be lights out? Because let's face it, this is a potential match point. If Poland wins this game on the Haunted Mines, Germany's out, and we're going to have a Sweden versus Poland grand final.
Well, we'll have to see if they are able to do it once we're ready to head back into game, but, which we are, and to move in. We see the multi-shot from Valor, dropping a little bit more poke damage onto Born, and Probius, setting up some counter damage. You saw the crystal, the glacial spike coming out there, but was not able to land the second chain.
Here we go, and level 10 is going to be a big turning point for the German team for sure.
It is still March. I unconvinced myself. I doubted in my own knowledge here, but Leoric still comfortable.
And I think, quite frankly, the level 10 power spike for Team Germany is way more significant than the one for Team Poland.
Yep, look at them moving in. They're looking for it. Where's that combo? Mosh pit on 2 members. They get it as Brightwing teleports in. And, well,
that was
what
painful.
What can you say about that, Brightwing? I'm here to... Oh, God. The worst kind of scenario for a Brightwing to teleport into.
Yeah, unfortunately, the technology to interrupt the phase shift is not quite here just yet. Maybe another 100 or 200 years of Fairy Dragon science can work.
Fairy Dragon science. I love it. As we do see, the short cooldowns, they're back in time for the mines. That's all good. But that's more XP. That is pushing in the bot lane because Brain was able to be down here unattended for a while.
Meantime, we see Leoric getting engaged upon on by 2 heroes, but there's no problem for Brain to survive that at all. Wave Rock is probably one of the best disengage abilities you could possibly have.
Stim Drone coming in here for Morales, the potentially risky pick here. There is a lot of engage potential, but there's also a lot of crowd control that could have interrupted Medevac if that's what he went for. And the burst damage is potentially enough to blow up Medevac. So Morales is going to have to be very position-focused here.
Yeah, good job by the Polish team here to really stop that mercenary wave from dealing too much damage. And also, the rotation down into the mines is very quick this time around. They're actually taking a slight lead in terms of overall cool camps.
Yeah, as we see Probius passing by Brain as Brain shows up. Here comes Born, the aggression this time being shown by Germany. The combo not landing onto Mana. The Emerald Wind is kind of zoning Germany out here. Brain's in the backline, and the fissure does not land. That's forcing Memecraft back, but he's dancing in and out of the mines, continuing to drop the abilities. There's almost the combo, but a beautiful cleanse onto Zadoon.
And now Morales is going to have to work double time here. So many Polish team members are dropping low at the same time. But as you said, Tetra, without the heroic abilities, the German team doesn't look nearly as scary, especially the mosh pit, which wasn't ready. Otherwise, this team could have gone totally different.
It's about to be 3 seconds, and Shadow Fissure is still up. That burst potential for Team Germany. That was a very back-and-forth fight, but we are currently seeing Poland ahead in terms of skulls, and Germany not ahead in terms of map presence because Leoric was forced to port.
Yeah, and those are really scary battles down in the mines when there's only so much space you have to rotate and move around, and that is where Arthas really comes into play. Slowing multiple heroes, both in attack speed and movement speed, can really make a big difference, and I think the Polish team did a good job not falling victim to a German onslaught again.
They were able to recapture their own vision as Germany has been taking some good map pressure so far as Probius moves back up to top lane to try and deal with the annoying Leoric.
The question is, which hero is a bigger asset to the respective team fight capability? Leoric or Probius? Looks like both teams are not afraid to fight yet another 4 versus 4.
The more Shadow Fissure, and the Morales dealing was nearly enough. Whoa! Kills back and forth. Down goes Valor as well, as we see ETC and Kel'Thuzad also taken out. Braid in full retreat. There's the root onto Greymane, who tries to move back in. Zadoon is far forward. March to the Black King and Ancestral Healing. Puts Braid back to healthy as they keep moving in. Drone was used on Arthas here, and he will take out Braid.
Wow, what a constant back and forth, and I can't underestimate the value of Zadoon on that Arthas, wreaking absolute havoc in the backline of Germany. You thought they had it already? Well, guess what? They completely let Arthas do his thing. He destroyed Kel'Thuzad. Quite ironically, actually, the Lich King turning against his former servant and Major Domo, but really good fight.
Yeah, very good fight indeed, as we do see Kel'Thuzad was blown up so early in that fight, and Stim Drone Office is still pretty scary.
Oh yeah, definitely true. And now Germany is on that time window again, where they don't have Ancestral, where they don't have the mosh pit, and as such, they need to play a lot more carefully than before.
So we're very likely going to be seeing Executioner coming in here from this Greymane later on, especially now that we are seeing from Kel'Thuzad the Chains of Ice, the slow if he lands his chains, not going for that cooldown reduction to try and land more combos.
Lala, by the way, going for a full hungering arrow build, like we're used to seeing her picking that most of the time, and really deals a considerable amount of damage against those PvE targets like the Golem Boss.
Leoric showing up, picks up that skull to prevent it being a 50-50. If they can take back control, they will technically win the phase if they can move in. But Probius is set up. Nunia takes a lot of damage. Chain not landing this time.
Yeah, a lot of zoning happening by the Probius.
So forward. As we see Brain in the backline, they're trying to focus onto Zadoon here. The Shadow Fissure not enough, and the Emerald Wind will guarantee the kill onto Brain as Nunia is forced back.
And that one pylon, combine that with the cannons, they dealt a surprising amount of damage, actually. They're helping them out even against the boss here. There's no way they can fight. Look at Gugus.
Bosch, they have Gugus is very far forward. For Nunia. Here comes the Bosch, but it's interrupted though. Minecraft dropping the Shadow Fissure, but it finds no target because the Bosch was interrupted, so they're able to dodge as Gugus kills off Nunia here. Board is completely isolated as we see Leoric fleeing in the opposite direction.
One does not make the Gugus angry, and that's exactly what happened right here. Basically, Germany was saying, hey, Gugus, you want to have a bite of us, a piece of us? And he was like, yeah, sure, I'll take that. And especially with that arrow build, you had the burst potential against squishy targets like the Kel'Thuzad. Even, quite frankly, the Greymane was heavily endangered and threatened by the Valor.
Valor mistaking Rhaegar for a demon there, and she did her job. She took him down very easily because everyone else sort of just left him because they were trying to make a 4 versus 5 play. It was a risk, and it didn't work out.
And that Golem Boss here on the side of Team Poland is a big
win. Yes.
That is a lot of damage. Potentially, though, coming in from Memecraft. However, without the support of the remainders of his team, there's only so much one Kel'Thuzad can do. But yeah, this Golem, 71 against 29, is going to deal some heavy, heavy damage to the German base.
The Cocktails are starting to get some good poking potential. Minx takes a lot of damage, but able to pull back. Nice root once again by Memecraft as they are pulling back.
Now, really got to highlight Morales as well here. I think Ajoub is putting in that work on the Morales. Always dropping the W on the target that is currently threatened, always having those healing beam readies on multiple targets, and managing his energy household very smartly.
Stim drone used as Valor moves forward to try and get the value out of it. Mostly really getting minions, because everyone from Germany saw the reaction and was able to pull back.
Yeah, they call her...
landed!
That is a lot of damage, potentially.
Wow, that armor not able to make it through as the Emerald Wind focuses everyone away, but Brain's able to get food thanks to his Wraith Walk. But Zadoon is so far forward. Beamcraft in danger, gets ancestral, but now Nudia is isolated. Here's the not Mosh Pit. It was on 10-second cooldown. As Ajoub is in trouble, he goes down, but so does Brain. The health bar's looking low. The chains from Beamcraft are turning this around. Nudia so dives back in, and Lazahil, there's the Mosh Pit. And Gugas, he turns it round.
No way.
He gets one. He's looking for more, but they're able to take him down. 3 for 2 in favor of Germany, but they lost the keep.
They lost the keep, and that's definitely all that Poland wanted to accomplish. Trading permanent damage for temporary damage is really the way to go here. In the meantime, though, that Seashine camp needs to be dealt with ASAP.
Did a little. No, it can do way more off the keep, and it will do more, like you said, if it's unattended, as we do see Probius on the way down as Vision is recaptured by Germany, continuing to try and get control, and they're going to try and push with this.
And that could be a very strong rotation, actually, by the German team. That keep is already down to 50%. Look at those Siege Shines. So much value.
God, Probius damage. Emerald Wind, Born, power slides back, as that was a lot of damage. That keep might live.
It might live after all, because all of that strong zoning and damage potential from mana on the Probius. But still, it is almost dead. So any sneaky backdoor attempt by, let's say, a Leoric or by an ETC or even a Greymane could mean the end of that bottom keep.
Yeah, nicely done in general. So we have Hungering Cold for Kel'Thuzad, as they do have the level 16 now. Very important for this combo.
Yeah, definitely true. So now every source of damage is going to deal additional damage over time. And if you stack that up with your Q, with the Shadow Fissure, you can really start blowing up people. And that is actually the old school way of building Kel'Thuzad before it got replaced by the more Q-heavy build.
It is the crux of the blow-up style of build here, as we do see Poland once again just throwing their weight around. They are still ahead no matter what here, especially with that keep still alive. So they are able to move into the middle of the map here and take those take that Sapper camp.
So Brightwing is, I feel, is going to be more important in that Polish keep position than ever before. The Pixie Dust, if landed on a target standing in the Shadow Fissure, really becomes the major lifesaver in team fights.
Rhaegar jumping down as the scout here. He's got one of the best escape potentials, as he can mount up as his trait in general without being demounted. And that it does allow Germany to find a entry point here as they do move in from top lane.
Yeah, and look at all the vision, all the scouting and zoning potential coming in from those Probius structures. Yeah, definitely true. That is a free fort if the German team is... Oh, no, that's a bait. No.
Okay, well, the pilot does see that, and immediately the fort is abandoned. Maybe not, says Poland, as they see the entirety of Germany getting ready to punish them. Good map sense by Germany.
I'm pretty sure if Germany had walked in through that exit, Probius would have unleashed a Protoss hell onto them.
Quite likely, as we see the boss. There's the boss and one single camp remaining. Germany, this time, were able to sneak their way ahead in terms of that skull count.
And golem bosses become more and more important in this part of the game. So we see defensive Probius, pylon, and cannon placement. And Germany's doing the exact right thing. They're zoning and baiting the boss more towards the right-hand side, so the Probius structures are out of range.
So Brain gave up on his flank here and is moving in to try and zone instead. They're able to take control. Face mode is used, and as such, Germany will take the ever so slightly stronger golem here. Damage onto Brain, but he's able to move back, as you saw the Shadow Fissure there. Valor trying to pick up a blow up there, but not able to do so.
Heavy damage actually coming in from Gugus on that Vala, and all of a sudden this is not so clear of a teamfight situation anymore. Only one ghoul camp was left available in the top right. Leoric and Rhaegar did capture that one. So pretty healthy boss, 61-39.
Germany are able to escape, but if Leoric and Rhaegar had been scouted, that could have been a disastrous scenario for them. But they were able to sneak away, as Memecraft does see this camp being taken. However, he is not going to react to it. Instead, they know that their boss is going to be pushing into a solid lane. The enemy boss, however, is still quite strong, so we could see the reaction from Germany to move down there and begin clearing it, because they need to keep their own keep alive.
Yeah, that is huge actually for Team Poland. The fact that the German Golem is going to push in through the top lane and not the bottom one, because the keep there was almost gone in the first place. However, that also does mean that Mercenaries and maybe a cheeky split push are going to be ever so more important, because right now I think they could even send Leoric in there and just backdoor it without him getting caught too heavily.
Right, well, the bottom
doing exactly that.
Exactly what they're doing. They're moving in that boss. If they pressure core here, then their boss, which is already far too low, they're not going to be able to try and pressure core and try and sneak it in here. Instead, this is just a guaranteed keep, and now they need to leave and go deal with the enemy boss that is still very healthy.
Yeah, there was no way for Team Poland to really defend that. Maybe if they had run away faster from the German boss in the top lane, but then again, the German boss would have inflicted more damage onto the top keep. So I think the way they played it was the correct one.
Staggered recalls at safe locations from Germany, making sure that they would not get caught out, as we will see the front wall taken down, but the keep will certainly survive.
And now it's just a race for level 20 pretty much. Both teams really want to unlock their Storm talents as quickly as possible. Catapults threatening the core and top a little bit more. But as it is, I really think the next Golem boss is probably going to decide the game, because guess what? Both bosses are going to push on the weaker lanes respectively, because they always switch around.
Yes, they are, and that's going to be a rough situation for these teams to find themselves in, as Mana sets up a sneaky pylon cannon combination there. I like that positioning.
Yeah, it's really hard for the enemy team to scout that one if it's hiding behind a bush, if you will.
It hit for it can't see. He didn't go for the gather mineral, so they don't give vision. So in this case, he was not able to. The cannon would not have been able to shoot ETC over that wall.
And the German team, they realized they don't have to show themselves on the map now at all. All they need to do is just defend, turtle up, get level 20, and then slowly but surely come back with a massive advantage. Team Poland needs to basically copy that playstyle until they hit level 20 themselves.
Yep, Poland soaking up as best they can. They move back into their base, exactly as you called it. As Germany begin to move out, Poland move back.
Now, I think the Polish team wants to play this very defensively right now. If you think about it, the only way they could hope to initiate a good team fight is in the mines, when Arthas gets maximum value. In the open, though, I think they're much more susceptible to getting flanked by ETC and the Greymane and maybe the Kel'Thuzad.
See Memecraft continuing to clean up for his team. They're spending a lot of time in that top lane. Catapults gather up in that lane very quickly.
I wonder if we're going to see some cheeky backdoor attempts here by either side. When, let's say, Poland decides to go for the mines, Germany could maybe switch around, go for a backdoor, and button the core this way.
There's the potential for either of these
either
teams,
side.
But the race potential from Germany is much higher. Yeah. So, like you said, we could see that style here.
15 seconds left on the clock here until the mines are going to open once more and spawn those golems.
Oh, I like that.
Oh yeah, this could be a flank approach here through... Oh, actually they're not trying to flank. Actually, they're trying to set up a trap here, because that's the most likely entrance for the Polish team. They must know.
Who's going to be the scout?
Yeah.
They know. They absolutely know. And as such, this trap will not be a success.
Exactly. It was a nice thought, though. It was a really good thought process. And it really shows the class of the German team here as well. Oh, if that holding
landing, there's one chain. Where's the second? It's on Morales, but there was no follow-up damage here, as ETC and Brain putting on a lot of pressure onto these backline heroes, as we see damage on Greymane is huge here. Emerald runs their predate out, but the unstoppable on Brain here due to the extra damage. A good Volt on Gugas, keeping him alive. The Shadowfisher hits no one, as Vix is in full retreat, trying to keep himself alive. Nudia also taking crazy amounts of damage with the death of Leoric. We will see also the death of the Rhaegar.
Gugas is just an abomination. I'm not even sure if he's from this world, because the way he positioned himself and quickly reacted to the way Leoric was pushing with his March of the Black King was just outstanding. Completely switching directions.
Born, please. Born, please. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that was very close. The shield was almost destroyed here, but Poland is really going to take this time very wisely. They're going to take the small camps first, so the German team can sneak them in respectively, and then they're going to focus on the big guy in the middle.
So we're seeing the damned return coming in from the Kel'Thuzad, getting that extra death and decay here to combo with that Hungering Cold talent at level 16. Even more damage output, but if he's continues to get zoned like he was in that last fight, could be a problem. Are we going to see a port denial here? Because look what's happening in bot lane right now.
I mean, Brightwing is basically scouting this. She will see the Greymane in time, and all skulls were collected up to this point. Now they are. So all the Polish team needs to do is defend this fort.
Yeah,
it's
a 90 gold golem. They Germany have to actually push now because
Emerald Wind is
good. Golem. Emerald Wind is good. ETC getting CC. There's no mosh pit available for him right now, remember, as they begin to move in. Greymane taking damage. The core shield is going down slowly as Gugas is also dropping low. Don't stand there, Born. He's forced to fall away. Mix getting chased by Arthurs. He goes down. Kel'Thuzad. This is a disaster as Braid tries to much the Black King, but he's alone. He's versus 5. There's nothing he can do. And Poland easy defend the core. Nunia, well, good luck, friend. He's going to have to try and solo this. And with Leoric. Leoric will be back at some point.
I mean, Nunia could try to maybe get something done, but really, with only one catapult, there's not a lot.
He's got to try. He's got to try. He can heal this catapult.
The only way.
So much so that he does actually do a lot of damage here as Probius is forced to return here, as well as Brightwing. Braid is not... Why isn't he draining? He could revive quicker here and try and race this.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was even trying at this point because there was a mighty, juicy golem already knocking on the German core. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be it. Team Poland is going to advance to the grand finals, where they're going to play Sweden in another best of 5 to find out who will be champion of the Nexus Games Europe.
Nicely played by Poland, able to close it out in solid fashion at the end there. Well played, and they will be playing against Team Sweden.
So I want to talk about Gugas here and the way he swiftly bounced back and forth to really dodge most of the damage and deal maximum efficiency as well. Whenever we saw that pink stim drone, he turned into the pink peril, I want to call him, because that was out of this world.
Yeah, Gugas having a fantastic game, but let's not forget his support players. His support players, the Medic and the Brightwing, performing exceptionally well as well. Mana, the best Probius in the world, but Probius maybe not the best hero in the world. Not doing too much this game, but still very solid.
Yeah, I would agree.
And we cannot forget about the German team who fought valiantly. They came much further into this tournament, or they were able to reach the semifinals, which was much more than anyone had anticipated before we started. In many tier lists, they were ranked at the very bottom of the table, but boy, did they surprise us. And I'm pretty sure they made all the fans at home, myself included, very proud.
Yeah, they made me proud. I kept saying I was far more impressed by them than I expected to be. Well played by Team Germany. Well-deserved semi-final there.
But getting into my replays, well, the first one we have, the German fans will be very happy to see because it is that team fight on the bottom lane. As we go into it, I want you guys to watch Leoric. Look at Braid. He realizes he can go around the left. Brightwing and Medic, they both teleport in. They get stuck in this tiny little passageway here. And the Kel'Thuzad player is so happy right now. He is just... They're stuck in, he's just throwing spell after spell. Both of them end up going down. And this is what gives Germany such a huge early game advantage.
Yeah, this was flashbacks to the UK France game, I believe it was, or Italy, where they basically...
The UK-Italy game, where they're all stuck above. Yeah.
I can't believe it happened a second time, by the way.
It's a good spot. Sometimes it's great to retreat there because it denies vision, denies abilities landing on you, allows for jukes, but... Leoric, he was in position, and even a Glacial Spike at the end, just in case they made it past Leoric, which actually stopped him leaving a little bit earlier than he would have liked to.
So the second replay I have is where it all turns around for Poland. Now, they've been looking in dire straits up until this moment, but when they get this team fight, they are back into the game. As we roll it forward, I want you guys to watch the ETC mosh pit and also watch the Dune on Arthurs. So we roll it forward. Born, he's just waiting, he slides in, he gets both, but look how long it takes Brightwing to die. Medic with the perfect grenade at first, the armor also on Valor, already using that heal, so Valor actually gets to trade one. Meanwhile, Zaduna Arthurs this entire time, he literally just soloed out the Kel'Thuzad and just killed him completely alone. Now, it's a 3v3, and look at the heroes on Team Poland's side. It's Arthurs, Medic, Probius, and that is the 3v3 you want. So, Nunia, they try and turn around with the Ancestral and also the March of the Black King, but honestly, it's still not enough. The 3v3 is so strong from the side of Team Poland, and the amount of healing that Medic gets onto Arthurs is just insane. You cannot fight into that.
And that's what we can see sometimes, the dichotomy between those two clips. If Kel'Thuzad is left alone, then he can really get some incredible work done. But once you have someone like Arthur's putting pressure onto him, well, liches get stitches, and he goes down without too much trouble.
Yeah, it almost looked like Arthas had the icy talons available in that fight when the Stim Drone was landing onto him. I mean, you can never underestimate the power of an Arthas, not just in terms of dealing, soaking damage, but also dealing damage.
Yeah, and the Stim Drone gives a speed boost as well, so good luck getting away from him. So that was a rough scenario.
Now, the third and final replay I have for you guys is the fight that secured the grand final spot for Team Poland. So as we roll it forward, what we're going to see is basically the fight starts out, Root misses, and Journey want to force this. Now, Medic gets super split from Gugus and Wolves down here. So this is a fantastic team fight start. Zaduna as well, taking tons of damage. Now, Gugus tries to fight Leoric, but Leoric is a scary hero at this moment of the game and does a ton of damage. So it forces Medic to walk all the way through. The Emerald Wind, though, it splits them up enough. Gugus still low, but now receives the healing and now can just hit Leoric for free. Zadun, healing back up with that Legion of North End, is now in the enemy backline, and that's exactly where he wants to be. Ancestral does not connect, as I'm afraid it was a theme this game. Leoric goes down, and now they're just going to chase Nunia down as well. They get the 2 kills, they get all of the skulls, and this was the end of the game effectively.
Yeah, very strong showing here, really highlighted extremely well by Bakery. So many different tools coming together, forming that deadly unit that was Team Poland. And Arjuf actually taking a second look at that replay made me respect his positioning and his target prioritization a lot more.
Yeah, completely agreed. Very nicely played. And we see a very strong semi-finals shaping up for Sweden versus Poland. And both of these teams have shown sign of weakness now. You know they are not invincible. I'm looking forward to what could be an incredible match.
Do you think, like, I know it's too early to say that, but just from taking a look now at both of those teams, who would you say has an advantage maybe coming into this grand final? Do you think it's dead even?
I still have to favor Poland. They've looked so strong this entire tournament, and Germany is the only team that has made them look weak. However, Russia, very close to beating Team Sweden, potentially could have done it if they had been just a little bit cleaner. Portugal as well, also looking very competitive with Sweden. So Sweden got better and better and better, but Poland's, they've been the best this entire time. I think they can still do it.
I really like Poland, and I think that some of their play could be so strong, but if Sweden get their comfort picks, I'm really struggling to see if, like, if all 5 of the games Sweden got comfort picks, I have no issue seeing them taking 3 games in a best of 5.
All right, guys. I mean, we're gonna know a lot more soon to come in a few hours. But before we go on a short commercial break, let's take another look at the brackets so you guys get a nice, clean overview of what happened ever since the Nexus game started. We start all the way with the quarterfinals here in the playoffs. Only Germany, Poland, and Sweden and France were able to advance successfully, and those games we saw today. Much closer than many of us had thought previously, especially the France-Sweden best of 5 was a pleasure to behold. But now, this is where it all comes down to. This is the big clash of the next games. Team Sweden against Team Poland. There can only be one champion emerging victorious at the end of the day. Well, we're gonna find out who exactly will reign supreme in just a very short moment. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
Impressive, Archer. But you'll need to do better than that.
You have no idea what I am capable of.
Good. Because you must be ready for anything.
我が敵を食らう Yield!
You show promise, Hanzo. Well done. But greater challenges still await us.
I believe we are ready.
It's time to find out.
I am Hanzo Shimada. Uga waga teki wo kurau!
the good in them.
Kuldan! You will not destroy the Nexus!
Destroy it. Pitiful fool. This realm holds more power than I've ever dreamed of. And it will be mine. For I know the truth. In the end, everything will burn.
Terra Marines are the toughest frag magnets in the galaxy. But when they're in trouble, guess who they call?